Hello and welcome to Greyhound Nights. We have got a fantastic game lined up for you today with plenty of good players coming in. We are pretty lucky to have St. Mary Glees today and one of the best points in the game as far as I'm concerned. I can hear myself or see myself peeking just a little bit there. One of the best points in the game. We got a hospice tonight, which is going to be fantastic. So, taking a look at the screen there, you can see currently I am the top killer. That screen probably needs a little bit of a refresh, but then it'll be good to go because I'm certainly not. I think I was actually just the first person loaded into the server. So that'll update as we go. Don't worry too much about that one. I shouldn't remain as top killer. If I do, then I'll be slightly worried, if I'm honest with you. So take a look at the map. We've got the Germans with Vorleville and Western Approach, and then we've got Hospice as our middle neutral point, and then we've got Artillery Battery and Levy Vergers for the Allies. I can see teams already placing nodes in the HQ. We've got one rule in place for this game. It is one artillery gunner, and they are unkillable. That is going to be so strong on Hospice. Not as strong as it is over by Checkpoint, but honestly, it is going to be great at Hospice. So we've got Chewbacca from BFT on the guns for this game, and I'll fly over and show you the other guy for the Allies without clicking on his name. I know that's slightly easier, but it gives you a little view on things like this, a little bit of the lineup happening from the guys from Hated and 250H, which is always nice to see. So on the gun over here, we have got BFT Woko, which is nice. There wasn't any commanders for this game signed up, so I don't know whether Chris from Greyhounds will stick around as the commander for the game. I don't know, but he's certainly starting as the commander for us today. You can already see these artillery marks starting to go out, so we're going to take a quick zoom out of this map, and we'll go up a little bit higher, and then we should be able to see everything going on. If anything slightly odd happens with my controls or with the visuals, Hell at least decided to totally just like reset all of my settings, and so I think I'm back to normal, but you never know. It could be totally ruined. I'll never know until something odd happens. Like I was trying to play artillery, and my controls are all messed up because I didn't have the usual buttons in place. But the wall is down. We're starting to go off now. Let's take a quick look at the map, see how the Allies are deploying. Unfortunately, I don't have the Axis map. At some point, I'll figure out how I can do that with my terrible internet. But for now, I don't have anything or any ability to run that. You can see rockets flying out. The trucks are starting to move in now. We'll see if any of these trucks takes this middle road. I'd be surprised if any of them actually go towards that artillery mark. You tend to see the Lux run in that area as opposed to a truck. You certainly don't want to be in that zone with infantry if the artillery is going to rain there. But we might see one of those squad leaders heading their way down here. Got a huge deployment down on this northern side, though, just underneath us from the Axis. And then over on the south side, we've got a huge deployment from both teams, in fact. And actually, look at the width on this attack here coming in from this Axis team. Love to see width like that coming in. They're going to take so much map control because of this. I think it's going to be really strong. They might not get this initial cap if they don't have the weight of numbers, but they will certainly be good for the recap. We see down here though, we've got the Stuart coming in. We've got AT tucked away though, made from Fins Let Loose. Could actually be a bit of a nuisance. Pulls out the Panzerschreck. Could see an early tank kill here on the Stuart. Gets the nope, doesn't get the reload going. Must have already... Has he fired his second rocket? No, he hasn't. I don't know what he's doing. And then he just takes too long and he goes down. Good splash there from the Stuart. But he's already been one hit, so he's certainly going to be fairly vulnerable here. We do have a good presence from the Allies within the hard cap, but down on the southern side, the Axis are totally dominating these gardens here and are already across the road. What I don't like to see, though, is the fact that they're not going to go contest the obvious main route in from the Allies, and they're not going to go contest up by this farm compound over here. I don't actually know what the name of that compound is. I don't have a name for it. That's terrible. Farmhouse. Yeah, maybe we'll call it farmhouse. Got to call out for most things, but just not that one key area of one of the most popular maps in hell, at least. It's dreadful. And this Stuart, though, is making himself a bit of a nuisance here. I don't know whether that Panzer IV's got the call. What is going on? Why you... What the... Just fucking switching places, are we? What's this? What is this, Alice? You're gonna have to explain yourself. They all suddenly hopped out. They're gonna have to go pressure this Panzer, this Stuart though. I think it's easy. It should be an easy enough kill for them. It's already been damaged. It's sat away, exposed as well. Just go contest that very quickly. Get it over and done with. Though they do just take a bit of a rocket there, and I think that's from the medium Sherman, who's in a lovely little spot over there, and they get the kill on the medium German tank there. So really nice play from them. Unfortunately, they didn't pressure quick enough, and they just rolled forward slowly, and they were able to be taken out too easily by this medium Sherman. Certainly, they could have fourth geared it across that gap and survived it, no worries, and just kited backwards and forwards. Would have been absolutely fine. But this is looking really nice here for the Axis. They're now starting to pressure towards artillery battery, and they feel like they've secured these southern gardens here. And removed any sort of squad leaders from that zone. The strong point is totally, and Mansion is totally in control of the Allies. That's to be expected. It's going to be that way for just a little bit as well. With two tanks still up from the Allies, it's going to be pretty difficult for the Axis to get any sort of foothold within that area there. That's still pretty vulnerable, I must say. Could be a fairly easy satchel for anyone if they manage to get themselves up there. But we see here Blumenker in a lovely spot. This goes even better the other way though, if he's the Axis. Secretari's not going to spot him. And in fact, Finns, that seems a little bit overkill. Pulls out the rocket and takes down Secretary. Not messing about there. Takes him down with no problem at all. And down south here, we do have some spawns. It gets wiped though, full squad wipe here from NZN and 126 Jim Edwards. So nice play from them coordinating that takedown. Let's check out these southern areas though, as we just spin around here. We do see plenty of action down here, and that's going to worry the Allies quite a bit because this is one of the main routes towards artillery battery. Certainly this is a lovely meat grinder of a two set of points to play with. Certainly feel like this is going to favour the Axis here as opposed to the Allies. We can see, if we take a quick look at these sections, we do have Hospice up here, and this is not going to be an exact circle of the strong point. I do apologise. It's not even close to it because I can't draw circles. Strong point, something like that. So what we're going to see is we're going to see plenty of players streaming up this sort of direction here if possible, and directly in towards artillery battery, and eventually we'll see some players streaming up this road here to then be able to work their way across and around the back of this. Realistically, that becomes incredibly difficult to defend because it's a very defensive stance that this German team can take here. You can already see they've almost kicked the Allies totally out of sector here, with control over these key areas. They do have a little bit of a play developing on this southern side, which is nice. I like to see this early on. That's not going to be picked up for quite a little while as yet, I wouldn't have thought. These supplies, though, are a massive misplay because they're way around the back and out of sector. They're not going to be able to be used until we get towards Western Approach, and they've already capped Hospice. So that's a bit of a misplay, dropping them there from the commander. But as I was saying, they've already largely kicked players out of the sector here, so we'll see pressure coming out of these zones here. To try and pincer their main attacks, because if you want to attack Hospice, you got to attack from G3, you got to attack from G4, and you got to attack from G5. If you want to come all the way around, that's fine. It's a long way, and you can largely, if you want to, you're going to come out of these zones here, try and attack, and if you want to come out from the south, it's pretty easy to defend. because you could just park a squad or even just a couple of guys within E5, and they'll hold that off without a problem. See, an airhead dropping down, an early airhead here for the Allies. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what the Germans are doing here. If they're dropping that early airhead. Do you see smokes dropping over here on the tank, forcing the medium Sherman here to get a bit of a wriggle on. And they're now going to drop out of the way as well. But over here we see Peter Slice totally dominated here by infantry, and even the Panther has made its way forward as well, taking shots towards that medium Sherman. I don't know whether he's got the kill on that or not, but he was just taking shots there. But this German team now starting to stream out of Pizza Slice and trying to control artillery battery and the sector of around it, which is really, really nice. Good play from them so far. They've got total control over gardens, they've got total control over mansion, obviously with control down in the far south as well. You don't particularly need anyone within these southern gardens just here, because it's an open field to try and cross. You know, it's going to be really difficult. You've got people just watching the cross. You'll be absolutely fine. So we're starting to see now this German team really develop their attack here and start going on to artillery battery, I think. They do have to be worried a little bit, though. They have to be a little bit cautious. They won't know about this yet. We do have this garrison in the southern side, obviously, and they're starting to get squad leaders in behind and progress pretty far forward here. So on the flank here, we do have Pivno here making his way forward from BFT. I do realise I just see, this is what I mean about my my settings being reset. I do have the occlusion, nameplate occlusion turned on, which I want to get rid of. Let's take a look at our map, see if that airhead landed, and it did. It did land totally unnoticed here, and we're now going to see players stream out of this zone, and we're going to get ourselves into a bit of a race situation here. Let Loose is often quite a bit about speed, where the faster the team is, the easier it's going to be to cap the point. So we see here, nice play from Cobra there, taking down Pattaya. Does get out-traded by Quitsoon there, but Maverick's in the zone as well. He could go in for the trade, but he's going to instead go for this Panther that's making his way there. And we start to see now the Allies getting cap progress over at Hospice, which is going to draw a lot of attention back to it. But they've got a lot of players back, and they really could establish themselves well here with just a smart play from these squad leaders who just maybe split themselves a little bit and ensure they don't get taken out too quickly. Got some Axis defenders dropping back to try and counter this. One goes down already, and then we've got Purple back here. Takes down one, but I think Chris is going to kill him here. Gets two shots into Chris. Sorry, gets two shots into Purple. Chris eventually gets rid of him. Cobra didn't get his outpost up nearly developed enough, but here we've seen total switch of play here, and the strong point and mansion and gardens at mansion are totally in control of the Allies now, and the Axis are having to stream from the south here. Now, if the Allies get lucky, their garrison in the south will still be unlocked. It isn't, unfortunately. Right now, though, I get what Abel's doing. He's going for that pub play of, if I just dive at Western, I might catch them unawares. But look, get a squad in, spawn in south, and push in north. And what you're going to do is you're going to generate pressure from this northern side, pressure from the southern side, and you're eventually just going to squeeze them out of cap. Your cap at this point, just ensure the cap here, because now you're losing it. And so Abel's now out of position, mispositioned here, so he needs to really start getting his squad pushing northwards if possible. And then alongside George and King, they can make some really good progress as they're pressuring from two sides. House Squad needs to continue their pressure from this eastern side, just to keep them honest, and not allow an easy route into artillery battery. However, this is certainly a really good position for the Allies to be in here. Do have some flares going up from the Allies, and they're spotting this this bit of pressure coming in towards the airhead and garrison, which is now locked, so they can't get any more players in towards it. And here's what I mean about game being of speed. The Allies slowed all the way down here, and really stopped the pressure, which has allowed a little bit of cap pressure to come in at artillery battery, which is now actually winning the cap race. So the defense of Hospice is on, they're just about holding on, but the cap at artillery battery is a go. And they do have a garrison in here, artillery battery. They can spawn players back. It's not been found just yet, but I think it's going to be found right now here, and by Maid, who's always making some fantastic plays here. So he takes down that garrison, and that's going to really scupper an artillery battery. Quick aired in here in the northeast, and it's going to be, you know, undefended. Then they know there's nothing up here in the northern side, because that's where they've pressured from. So we're now starting to see some defensive squads come back. We've got Option here coming back, along with 2 tank crews are in the zone as well. But this point is just about being contested thanks to the reinforce. But down on this southern side, we do have a full squad moving in here. From 250H, we've got Alex GZ there, who's starting to make his way towards the point, and he's going to get that double-sided pressure towards artillery battery as well. To really just squeeze out this enemy attack. So it's a good defense, a good recall from the allies. They've done well here to stop this. There wasn't a squad leader in zone particularly to capitalise on it, but they are now starting to put players forward as well, and they've regained control of Mansion. They've got control of Gardens. And at this stage, they're looking to just try and clear out any sort of remaining infantry squad leaders, garrisons here. I think this Panther's going to find this garrison and take it down. Although he's focusing on the infantry there, trying to get rid of Maverick. But he does there, he goes for the garrison, clears that one out. And that's a nice tidy clean up there for the Axis. So they've done well to just stop that from happening over at Hospice. They recovered pretty well, but I do think this Able squad down here just taking too long to get themselves north, and they absolutely could have squeezed this with a little bit more pace and presence within the cap sector. They'd looked really good for this cap, and so it's a shame that they went for that pub defense or the pub offense of trying to go for that sneaky double cap. It just isn't worth it most of the time, especially when you're 3-2 down. Don't worry about going 4-1 up. 4-1 up is great. You know, it's a winning position, but so is 3-2. If you stick with just ensuring that middle cap, you'll go quite far and look pretty good in hell, at least. Over at Artillery Battery, we do have players streaming forward here, but they're coming from a fairly well-covered side. It's fairly easy to squeeze through this wheat field and clear them out. And due to the fact that it's pretty one-dimensional here, just one squad, no tanks, nothing particularly going on in terms of great pressure, it'll be fairly easy for them to clean this up and tidy it. Do you see a dead 76 here? So it looks like the first 76 from the Allies did get traded out and taken down. I haven't seen the Panther that we had forward at all for just a little while, but I do wonder whether that's these guys just here. So we've got Alice there, and we've got another Panther back here in Benpast, Fuse and Sparky from Broken Arrow. So we do see double Panthers setting up here. Alice's tank is in a nice position to be able to kite backwards from forwards. They are a little bit exposed to infantry, perhaps through this wheat field, but if the tank commander's paying attention, they'll spot that coming from a long way. And they're just looking to tidy out and finish off this field here, and that'll be pretty good work on the defense here. There's just a few stragglers within the point here. We do see Rapunzel, a fantastic name, making his way through and into the hard cap. But again, he can be here, that's fine. He's not going to cause too much damage, just one player on his own. There's only so much he can do, even if he is the best of fraggers. One player just can't put out the pressure required. So you see the 76 starting to move his way forward now. We'll check the map because there was a second tank, but they look like they've started moving south. And they're going to go for the wide flank. This BFT tank. I don't know what you're doing. What are you doing? That's the edge of the map. You're just gonna drive off the edge of the map. Are we Are we in practice mode? No? Okay, they're going for the kite position. Okay. They've just... they took a really long way around. And then the tank immediately stops upon getting damage. Gets the second shot away. It getting hit in tracks. Should be dead by now. I don't know what this Panther's up to. This 76 should be dead. There we go. 76 down. Should have just moved. That was a rubbish engagement for you. You took the first hit. Whether it was tracks or not, I don't know, but that was a terrible engagement from that 76, and that's not too dead 76 on this northern side here. I remember someone saying, now it's either Bite-Sized or Honey Badger from GXC talking, maybe Adners or Wix, one of the tankers, I don't know, one of the weirdos that play tanks for GXC, talking about how this is like a bit of a funnel. It's a bit of a death trap for 76ers. These Panthers can set up so easily and have a fairly good maneuver range within that field, whereas the 76ers only have a couple of different peak points that they can use. So, you know, it becomes a bit of a tank graveyard over in that little field there, because they struggle to challenge it so much. You're better off, really, just harassing them with AT guns from that zone and putting your Panthers elsewhere across this field, perhaps, and just avoiding those Panthers, because you just can't win the head-on engagements, unfortunately. Do you see a bit of an open field push here from the Axis Rifleman, which is lovely to see? I mean, Rapunzel doesn't seem to have any idea this is happening. He's just not quite looking in the right way, but he's going to pick up Alapix there very nicely. Don't think he sees Oblib. Rapunzel there does go down in the end to Maid from Fins Let Loose. Always in the action, that guy. Do you see a very good defensive line coming up from this Axis team, though? And the Panthers are on the move, actually. They feel like they've done enough damage here to be able to start their way forward. And I always like to see aggressive tanks, because it does make the game a little bit more interesting, if you ask me, when tanks start going for it. Because otherwise, you end up just being a little bit kind of stalemated, you know? Hospice is a great defensive point. It's relatively easy to defend. If you take a look at Hospice as a point to try and defend, if I can get to my map, and actually, you know, I'll give it to the Allies. They're still generating out of this southern zone quite nicely, so they are doing quite well here. But if we take a look at Hospice in terms of the 4 square, there's really no way of getting into E3 in a silent manner, if I'm honest. There shouldn't really be a... You know, you can set up pretty easy warning garrisons around this point to really stop that. And, you know, and if they really want to go sort of all the way around the point, there's only so much you can do to stop that on any map. But this E3 point here, section of the map, pretty easy to defend, because they're just not going to get to it, particularly in this sort of arrangement. Just purely because actually you're going to be setting up with, you know, a bit of a front line like this. So they're not particularly going to get into that zone. We do have a precision strike. I'm just going to tab back in and take a look. Tab in, have a look. Looks like they're going based off the recon plane. That tank has moved though, and there's no tank on any mark here. So we're going to see precision strikes come in and deal no damage to anything in particular. And that was a bit of a waste of a peace strike. You got to, if I'm honest with you, don't hit precision strikes on tanks from recon planes. Just hit it with tanks that you can see. You got to get eyes on to really make sure it is there and it hasn't moved and it isn't moving, because it is a lot of damage to. Well, it is a lot of munitions. That's the word. Jesus Christ, my brain. My brain just didn't want to do it. We do see the Axis here grinding out quite nicely up this road. This is not an easy road to grind through at all, particularly not when they've got little hidey holes they can use, like this tank in the wheat field, and they can get in these bushes pretty well. I'm concerned about a bubble in the chat. I'm trying to type the word 3. I have no idea what he's talking about, if I'm honest with you. I hope you're okay, Bubble. I mean, I don't think you are. Obviously, I'm on a slight delay, so in the chat, this was 15 minutes ago, that you've been talking about 3 and trees and rees. But I'm only just, I'm seeing it sort of now for you guys. So I want to see more presence coming out here from the Axis, because actually they've totally given up this southern control. They've got nothing within this area, and they're just going to make life harder for themselves. Actually, if I go back to my map here, the fact that this airhead is live is absolutely criminal. There's no way that should ever be dropping. It's got a couple of spawn waves off as well. That is criminal. The fact that there's no garrison here and we're not seeing anything from the Germans pressuring through this zone, also criminal. Genuinely terrible, that. But yeah, so like as I was saying, if you want to defend E4, it's relatively easy again, because actually you just defend where Charlie and Howe are, and it's not too bad. If you want to defend F4, you really only have to just lock them into this zone, and locking them into that square there is pretty easy. And then again, you just sort of defend a small section of town here, and so you can fairly easily just defend what I'm marking here, and you're locking out the entirety of Hospice. Just like a little bit of defense there, a little bit of defense there, and you've locked out the entirety of Hospice. And you can do this with just a couple of squads, really. We do see a fairly decent attack going on at both points, though. We've got a little bit of cap pressure now being defended at Artillery Battery. Looks like that was just sector cap as people have spawned back in. But over at Hospice, it is looking a little bit more dangerous, as we've got teams just totally intermingled with each other here. If we take the top-down view, I think this is going to give us the best view of the ants running around down there. Because they're totally intermingled with one another. And it's going to be difficult to get rid of the little rats from these gardens. The Axis are doing okay. They are winning their gunfights pretty well here. But overall, the Allies are being a bit of a nuisance. And this is the second time that they've had a decent... they've got a bit of a decent attack going for the second time. Artillery goes down onto that mark, and these marks are these areas are a little bit of a trap, because it is right by garrison, and it is right on top of an outpost, and you are going to pick up a couple of kills. You're going to hit so many of these buildings, though, that you're just going to really struggle to actually deal enough damage consistently. We've seen the 2 shots that have just landed here in the last couple of seconds, that one of them hit the building, one of them's hit the ground, and if we take a look here, we'll see how many kills it gets, if anything, because I think it's probably just going to hit another building if they even drop it in again. No, they don't. They move it to this crossroads, and that's a bit more of a sensible spot, I suppose. It is slightly more open, but again, not really anything going on there, unfortunately. See the recon plane come in, and they've cocked this garrison thanks to the spawns there, and the artillery's going to land, and this is a slightly better mark. I'd like to see him drop it just very slightly back off of that. Just don't try and drop it between buildings, just drop it off of it. You get a wider kill range just by doing that, and it looks a little bit... you'll be a little bit tidier. We'll see, though. Hang on, there's a decent spawn wave just come in. Let's see if the artillery drops. Not sure, but Finns is right on the mark here into the zone. He takes down 2 very nicely, and the artillery comes down and cleans up a couple more. We've got Nexus from HRN, though, and takes down Finns. Very nice indeed. You see complaints in the chat about artillery and about tanks. So where 76? I don't disagree. The 76 coming up from mid HQ should have spawned that up north. Give yourself a little bit of a quicker route in. But they're clearly worried here, based on the fact that we've just seen a huge spawn wave or a huge mark wave come in to this northern side of Artillery Battery. We do have a lot of players spawning and coming through here from the Allies, and they're just going to get bottled up. I think they'll eventually clear this, but again, it's pretty difficult to actually attack hospice from this zone. You just need really one squad here just to keep them honest once you've cleared this up, as a bit of a defensive block, and just to ensure that you know, if they do leave it open, you've got the ability to just take this short route into hospice. Once they've cleared this up, though, I'd like to see them flip it all to the south and really just pressure from the south side, because they've got this farm compound pretty covered down here. Just seen someone type in Polish. Now, do I allow Polish in my chat? I don't know. You know, I'm feeling generous today. We'll allow it. I have no idea what he said. If someone wants to Google translate that for me, and I can know whether or not to delete the comment. I know. I should have moderators for this thing, but he never turns up. I've only got one. And he's never here. Goddamn Americans always at work during this time, apparently. They're rubbish. Do you see another little sneaky play here? I do wonder who this is. Oh, great. Thanks, buddy. Sizu Pivopit. I think I've got that one. Takes out Jim Edward. Very nice there. Good trade. He's done well to win that one through the small gap. But he's been a little sneaky boy. He's getting himself into good zones. Similarly, BFT Finns is still making a bit of a nuisance of himself on this southern side of the point. Certainly not allowing them to pressure out from this zone too easily. Just have too many people sort of mulling about, if I'm honest with you, though. I don't know why we've got so many people at church here just sort of sitting around. I'm moving around this zone because I kind of just want to know what they think they know, right? See, a garrison mark go out there. It's pretty quickly taken down, though, so I suspect they probably did have a garrison, and Gloomy's just taking that one down, but a lot of players here just doing a whole lot of not a lot, if you know what I mean. Not too much going into this zone. Oh, here we go, though. This is the sort of play that I'm always looking for. The Panther starts to roll out up this road here, as they're starting to sort of take this short route and really take the meat grind to them. I like to see sort of plays like this from tanks, just because it keeps the game interesting, right? It keeps the game a little bit interesting. But I tell you what, if he can make it across here, I think Cobra's being shot at. I'm not too sure. He's wiggling and waggling his way through. But Cobra here and Lenny as well, and they're probably going to make this across, and they're going to be sniffed out. They know they've made this run. There's going to be contest up here, but again, you know, once you're in this zone, you can be a nuisance. You can really be a bit of a pain here, just by being within this area, and you can drag a lot of players towards you from this zone. Thank you, Sozo, for complimenting the aerial shots. I do appreciate that. I think they give you a whole new perspective on the game, which is always quite nice. And just though the Spanish are the MVPs, we'll see about that. At the moment, hated are is that hated Ronald? I can't actually tell. I have a tiny screen where I can see the stats, as opposed to you guys. Yeah, so I think the German guys are fragging pretty well here. And 126, I believe, are a French team. So they were. Jim Edwards was fragging pretty tasty at the start as well. But so thanks for complimenting the lo-fi beats. Yeah, I just like listening to them, so that's why I have them on in the background. I could barely even hear the game. I just have the music going. Which is always nice. Got a bit of a fight here between Panther and 76. Panther has taken one hit, it seems, and the 76 seems to be safe. I love this from the 76, though. Really going to go aggressive now that they know they've got that first damaged coming in onto this Panther, and they can really just push forward slightly. Bit of a wasted shot there, getting no kill. I suspect that hedgerow maybe just hasn't rendered in for them, though, which is why they think they can get that kill. Biceps, thanks for the Prime Gaming sub. I do appreciate it. Appreciate the I think it's like £2.50, $2.50, something like that I get from a Prime Gaming sub, and it costs you guys absolutely nothing other than the price of Prime, right? But you know, if you've got it already, I do appreciate getting those Prime subs, because you know, they go towards paying for nice little bits and pieces to upgrade the stream. Hopefully, I can get some nicer graphics and stuff on the go with that money. Panther's really going to drop all the way off here at this stage. 76 is going to continue putting the pressure on as well. This is what I mean about this this pizza slice zone up here, and where I said just by getting those players into that area, you can really start making a bit of a nuisance for yourselves and causing a bit of damage. I don't know about this squad leader here, Dr. Dolphin. I don't know. That's not the greatest of zones to be in. You want to be either side of the road because he's just kind of in the middle of an open field at this stage. But if he's now going to go join over on this this northern side in Pizza Slice, that's too many players. You know, most of these guys are running 6-man squads. That's like 18 players you're putting up towards Pizza Slice, and that's too many for my liking personally. But we are seeing some good plays actually coming from the southern side as well. You know, we can see really how these teams are just starting to constrict on the axis. But this is why, you know, I wanted to see Dr. Dolphin perhaps just take this direct route, because we have some presence in the north here, got a lot of presence in the south. You leave an artillery battery pretty free, which is lovely to see. I like artillery battery being lightly defended. And then you just need one squad here just to really go pressure up from the east and just really squeeze from the east and just really make a bit of a nuisance of themselves. Artillery here should absolutely shred if they put it back up to the far northern side here. All the infantry's died that was pressuring it immediately, so glad to see some artillery now just dropping up there and really clearing out and walking the infantry in. Do you see Panther here making a nice little defensive move here, just going to defend this road, but he immediately gets marked here. And so that's not going to be, you know, he's going to have to move at some stage. But oh, it looks like I maybe missed the missed the tank engagement, because we do have the 76 dead over here. So apologies about missing that engagement, but Luke's here. I'd love to see the Lukes just dive into this zone. You're only a little Lukes. You can waste that fuel. It's not a problem, and you can be a real nuisance. And you're very difficult to kill in a Lukes. They have weird ricochets. You can't be penned in the front. You can do a whole lot with the Lukes, and that autocannon absolutely shreds infantry. But here we go. We see Cobra here get himself into a nice zone. He's going to take down this garrison on the northern side. So they're going to totally claim Pizza Slice here, apart from this Lukes, who potentially could hold them back on the road pretty effectively. Artillery's pushed all the way back, and I can see why they've done that. You know, potentially just trying to cut off infantry coming through the field. But again, there's no one there. But we have the benefit of being able to... I've been able to see that there's no one there. He's thinking that he's just grinding his way back to allow his infantry to move. It does seem that there is some form of spawn down there. Because we have players spawning. I just don't see it personally. Oh, a bit of a death trap down here though. Indy comes out on top and does actually win that engagement. So they do actually win that trade. It was pretty unfavourable, three deaths to 2. But just by clearing out that garden, it's really slowed up this HRN squad from defending there. So we'll see how they do from here on. Got Quit Soon. He's made a nice little move into the garden, hop the wall. We'll see if G-Taurus there can pick him off. And he does. Good play from G-Taurus. Gets taken out by a grenade. Bardo there wins his gunfight, and then Heisenberg wins his. So fantastic play here from the Allies, winning their gunfights in crucial times, and they've massively come out on top with that trade list there. Really, really nice to win those and actually put loads of pressure on here. Well, thank you, Pates, for the Prime Gaming sub. Appreciate that one. Another $2.50 into the back pocket of me. Straight, I don't agree with that. Hospice is decent attacking points. I'm 15 minutes ahead, so it's a little bit tricky for me to kind of know which bit you don't agree with. If you want to give me some more detail in there as a comment, I'd be totally willing to read out and talk about it. But you know, with a 15-minute delay, it becomes pretty difficult. Unfortunately, I'm forced into these delays due to tournament rulings and stuff. 15 minutes is pretty good. 30 minutes is now the standard. Yeah, but I suppose once you box the Allies out past gardens, the only way in is through the south buildings. Otherwise, it's an open field. Yeah, I don't disagree. It is a lot of open fields. I just, you know, Hospice is I think it's rubbish to try and attack. It's so easy to defend. You know, there was a massive misplay from the Germans in losing pizza. If they don't lose pizza here, and now they are actually starting to cap the point because they've actually managed to pressure from both sides and pretty successfully. But all of this really, if I'm honest, is kind of come from. It's kind of come from this pizza slice section up north here in F3. If they don't lose that, they don't have to commit so much to it. And we saw them having to commit loads of infantry up here into this zone from that garrison. And that kind of left the south a little bit more open as well. Now, we do have players in this zone. We've got 3 outposts coming up from the south. Finally, we've got some pressure coming in from the east as well. I hope Prep Squad just takes that really direct route into the point. That's really what I want to see here. From them, just really try and put themselves up the road. It can be difficult if there's a tank defending it. We do have an explosion in front of us, and we'll check out what that was. Looks like that was the Panther. So let's check my map. See, there is a 76. Looks like they just tidied that one up as they crossed the road. So nice play from the 76 if they did get that kill there. But now this tank's gone. This road is open, and you can make up a lot of ground, and I want to see the Allies really go eat that up if possible, and really try it. Yeah, see, so the peace strikes are pretty useless, if I'm honest with you. Bombing runs are pretty useless as well. This is actually not the worst use of a bombing run I've seen. I don't hate this bombing run, but unfortunately for them, the infantry just hasn't capitalised on it. They didn't pressure, and now that bombing run's been wasted, because while it killed the infantry, they're just back again. There's nothing that, you know, they can really do about that with bombing runs, because it's not garrison spawns they're fending off, it's outposts, and they're not going to go down to a bombing run. So, do you know what? I take it back. I don't like the bombing run usage, but maybe that's just because of the infantry, though. They just didn't capitalise on it. Because this is an absolute mess at Hospice, though. These allies are playing out absolute rats, and I love it. But you can see they're just totally mingled in with one another here, being a real nuisance. And here we go. We've finally seen a couple of players take this eastern route, and they can now really set themselves up by glider. They can get them; they're into mansion already, and if they can now come down here and clear out these southern gardens, they'll have pretty much this entire eastern side of the map sewn up. And this is where those caps start coming back in. You know. So yeah, the peace strikes aren't worth it when a satchel or an AT guy does the same thing. Yeah, don't disagree. The only time it's useful is if they've got a really entrenched tank with rep stations and stuff, and your tanks just cannot go engage it. Then those peace strikes can be quite useful. But you gotta have eyes on the tank. If you don't have eyes on it, it becomes pretty pointless. Got a artillery mark on this garrison here. We'll see whether Finns has communicated this. He might just get absolutely shredded by his own artillery here, because he's absolutely pushed it. And taking this down would be huge for their game. He does get the garrison, so that's okay. You can get shredded from this point. That's fine. We can see here just where Finns is on this map. You know, that means at this stage here, they've taken down a garrison just in this zone. They've taken one up to the north. They're really running out of places where these garrisons could be. You know, they're probably going to have one sort of around this zone, maybe. Totally potential to have that one up there. But if we can now just get the prep squad are in, that's fine, that's good. King squad are clearly defensive over here. It's really at this stage now, if they can just sew up this defensive stance they've got down south, then I do think they'll cap it, because they're looking really strong. But the problem is, it's all about speed, and so I just can't see, unless they're quick about sewing up that southern side, whether they'll hold off this sort of wave here or from the northwest of Hospice, because this is a lot of players coming through here to try and clear out Pizza Slice. And that's why it's always nice holding Pizza Slice, because teams commit so much to defending it. But with mansion control, it's nice, it's good. 76 has got aggressive here. This is nice to see. Finally, they've taken out Panther. I don't particularly see any other Panthers on the map. We've got this Luke's. We do have one Panther. There we go. Let me stick this into the center of our screen, because this is going to be the next tank engagement, I think. Got this Panther coming in here from Lavi and the NZN guys. So Duzek and Bolter. We'll see, though, because actually this 76 has got to be a little bit careful. He's got the infantry close up to him as well. So he could be vulnerable to an AT rocket to the side. He could be vulnerable to this Panther to the side. If he keeps pushing here, he's going to get caught by this Panther. He'll certainly be marked here. They'll know this 76 is in this zone. And I don't know whether they know this Panther's coming here. Panther takes a quick dive around the back. I wonder whether he's going to... He is just going to go for the full dive here, I think. He's going to catch this 76 totally unawares, unmarked. This is not looking good for 76. Really poor tank play. Unfortunately, they dived in and got caught up with infantry. 76 goes down. Jevil jumps out. He's still alive. He gets taken out by Arst up there. Oh, but Rapunzel might... Does he get the satchel? I don't know. He runs over his own player, the Panther. Rapunzel does go down. Tank mark finally comes out. We'll see. Is there a second 76 coming up? Oof, it doesn't look like they're nearby. We've got BFT tank coming through, but good lord. Hospice here is an absolute mess. If it weren't for these two tanks here, I think this point's capped at this stage. The tanks coming up north to clear out pizza is huge for them. They can now commit less infantry into this zone and put them all into trying to retake gardens here as well. But generally, these 76s are not on the money here today and are really, unfortunately, playing poorly. Got Alice playing tank simp on top of her own Panzer IV here. Oh, but they might catch the... Oh, please don't tell me they're going to catch the side of the 76. No way. Not with a mark on it. This tank's been marked. I think that 76 has just turned its turret towards it to see it off. It has. But over here, artillery battery do have a little bit of recon work going on. Commander's just chilling in the point. Gavrich there, not moving. He's not interested. As we see now more contests going on at Hospice, just thanks to the sheer presence within the strong point. Now they can sew this up soon. They can do this. Artillery, poor positioning, I think, again. You know, we have the benefit of being able to see where these marks are. And I can see that you always want to control 3-story. And I get it. I get it that you can... You want to control that, but dropping artillery into the back of it, I'm not too sure. Try and control south, try and control pizza. I think pizza's pretty much done for with the two tanks up there with no reply. So just drop that artillery into the gardens. You'll be good to go. But the cap is strong here. The cap is looking really, really good. Crony, you just finished making spag bol. I love spag bol. You can't have vegetables, so I probably won't like it. Spag bol's not supposed to have vegetables in it, really. I don't think. You know, I'm fine with just meat and pasta. It doesn't bother me, Crony. So you know what? I'm all in. I'm all fine for that. Defense comes in just thanks to the sheer presence on the south and these two tanks. But they've not cleared out pizza. What is going on? Why have we not cleared out pizza? Don't get it. Tanks are dropping off here. I don't know why they're dropping off. Just put Luke's, put yourself through pizza slice, please. Just go clear the outposts. Ben past. You're in a Luke's. You're expendable. I'm sorry, but you're expendable. Just go put yourself through pizza. Allow your infantry to claim it. Then you can stop committing so much to it. You know, it's unnecessary to commit that much into pizza. As much as they're having to do, just purely because these tanks won't engage. But so thanks for stopping by while at work. You know, you're better than my own moderator. We should really... You need to get on at Honey Badger to come via the streams at some point, because he's an embarrassment of a moderator. He's never caught a single stream, I don't think. It's terrible. Let's take a look at the map though, because actually we're seeing now these guys getting squeezed out a little bit. All the presence now on the attack really within F3 here in the north, and that's fine. You know, they'll be competitive. They'll be able to start the cap like they are doing here. But I think we still need this presence from down south. You know, really try and squeeze the enemy infantry up here into E3. By controlling F3 as they've done. This looks really, really good now those tanks have backed off. We just need to commit more players in here from the south, and if they can just commit more players in here from the south, then they'll be in really good shape. But we see the 76 diving again. I don't know whether these tanks are gonna. I don't know, man. I don't think they're doing particularly well here. I'm going to have to check out the scores of these tankers in a minute, because these 76s are just not doing it for me. We'll check out the Allies' scores pretty soon. Oh, Bluminker in a fantastic spot with the MG. If he can get that angle on there, then he'll be in such good shape. He might even have it there through the trees. Can always just hop on top of the chimney, but that does leave her a little bit vulnerable. So if he can get that low angle, that'd be great. 76 really pushed up now. I wonder if he sat in the strong point. I think he might just going to creep forward into it now. And they do have tank marks out. They do have an idea that these tanks are in the wheat field. The marks are pretty good as well, actually. But AT pops in, gets a little track shot there, and Flaushi and Pivno go for the save. Second shot goes in. Let's take a look at these damage marks. I think they're both in tracks, so they should be okay. Yeah, that's not too bad, actually. Just getting track shot. You don't need to back off there if it's only tracks, in my opinion. Luke starts to dive. We'll see. The 76 should have an idea there's a Luke's coming up the road. Based on those shots, they should have heard them. They should have seen the splashes, potentially, even. We will see whether that mark comes out for them to know. Panther's already damaged as well, so 76 is in a great position to really capitalise on the fact that he's got a light tank and a damaged Panther. But we are seeing just a ridiculously long fight over Hospice here. This is so protracted. The Axis are doing so well just to hang on in there, and they really are just... The infantry fights going the ways of the Allies. So they are making good work here, but the problem is they just cannot win these tank engagements. 76 totally backs off, splashing himself, trying to not get himself saturated, so he's worried about not having enough infantry support around him. I don't blame him, that he's got nothing on that southern side. That's all Axis down there, so I can see why he's backed off. You know, I'll give him that one. I'm okay with that. And there you go. He did get satchelled in the end, and he gets taken out. So yeah, I get why he's backed off there. That's fine. You know, he was already satchelled. It's a little bit unfortunate, but you know, wait for a second, 76, and really just go take these Panthers on head on. You know, go double up. And just get your money's worth out of these 76ers, because they're really not doing it so far. Let's take a look at the scores, as we are quite a ways in now already. This game's gone pretty quick with the fight over Hospice. Just going to scroll down so you can all sort of see those scores. 423 for HTD tank. Pretty poor. Oh, the BFT tank is yes, existing. And then we've got Fox tank down here. Not even seen these guys. It's a 1900 score. That's pretty respectable. But I haven't seen them on the map, so I don't know whether they've even had a 76. But oh, BFT 78 combat score after 54 minutes. Oh, not ideal. Let's take a look at the stats. Let's take a look at the stats in general. This game ain't going anywhere. I'll keep one eye on it for you. So let's take a look at the stats. Make sure I've got the window open. Go to stats. There we go. Let's take a quick gander at these. Let's see what you guys can see as well. You can see the deaths. I always have to crop this down very slightly. Because I don't like giving away the links, because they're not always public links that I have. I get given Archon access by some teams to be able to see these events. So that's why it's always cropped down. You don't always get to see everything. Top of the list though, we've got Chegs. Ronald doing fantastic work here with a variety of guns. Even 13 with a grease gun. So he's playing really, really well with 53 kills, coming in at 1.03 kills per minute. Exactly the same as Jim Edward on this STG 44. Nice play from him. Got Ruthless Joy as well for the Axis, doing particularly well. Chewbacca on the artillery, dropping kills in pretty well. Got Sipuli Mester with the STG. I mean, we can tell what gun is good here. STG is looking pretty strong. We've got Alapex as well, coming in 6th. Then we've got Pivno Pivo. We've got Podge Razverska. Oh, Jesus Christ. We've got Dipsy and Deb there, ran out of top 10. And in terms of kills, good lord, Chegs, so down. Oh, Christ, there's nearly like two actions a minute. That's Ridiculous. Oh, what a man. I love this guy. 55 kills, 42 deaths. What a player. I love to see stuff like that. Because it just shows how hard he is actually pushing the opposition infantry. It is absolutely crazy. Let's go. Let's just pop back to the game. See, told you nothing was going to change. Nothing much really going on here. Do have a little bit more control over Mansion for the Germans here. But the Allies are starting to push into the Southern Gardens here pretty nicely. They don't have any control over Southern Town though, and in fact, actually, it's sod all down here. We've got some players way out of position, I think, but I guess there is some infantry, and they've got to get that wide attack on, I guess. But they are pretty well removed from the game here, I must say. What do we got? Oh god, I think people are talking about heir apparent. I'm going to have to scroll now, aren't I? You're going to lose frames because I'm tabbed out. Don't complain about it. Is this heir apparent or what? Heir could teach you a lot. Heir apparent couldn't teach you anything because you'd never learn from him. Maybe he's got good things to say, but you'd never know because no one ever wants to listen to him. Got a good attack coming in actually through the meat grind section here as well. Because actually some players coming through this zone. Let's see someone get up on top of the house, maybe just get a little bit of elevation and really just tidy this up. We do have the mark on the garrison though, so we're going to see. I think maybe this is just going to go straight away. Lenny there, really nice play, just pops himself around. Paying attention though, checking the map out, pops around. Lenny gets the kill anyway. Great play from Lenny there, really well read. Well defended. That's going to stop a lot of that main attack coming through. And that cap pressure again over Hospice. I don't know how long this will be sustained, but there is that really nice pressure now coming in from the southern side, which I asked about. Over here, oh, someone's saying, come on, Saucies, or off. I can't go on Saucies because I'm banned. It's not ideal. But yeah, don't challenge someone like Bubble for a fight. It's not fair. It's not a fair game. Down this side, we've got a garrison mark come up again. We'll see whether that is true or not. They're definitely going to have spawns within this zone. Yep, they've placed the garrison back in the same spot. That's fine, I guess. You know, they know it's there though, and the cap pressure really coming in heavy now from the southern side. This is it. This is what I talked about. Being able to really put the pressure on from the south here. This is where a lot of the cap sector is. People ignore it because, you know, it's not the fun part of Hospice. But if you control the south side, it's a lot of cap sector. It is a lot of cap sector. Over artillery battery though. It's looking spicy. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not looking good. Big spawn waves coming in on defense of Hospice for the Axis, which is getting cleared up pretty quick from the Allies, but it has stopped the cap for a little bit of time now. And there is defense on at both sites here, which is good. Defensive artillery comes in at artillery battery though. Oof, oh, you don't like to see this. I don't know about defensive artillery here. It's not that desperate, I wouldn't have thought. You got players dropping back in. Got players dropping like flies though. Thanks to this spotter here in the house, doing a great job picking people up across that field. Yeah, Bombing Run kills more of my frames than anything else. Yeah, you're not wrong. That's what the Twitch Prime subs will be going on. Is a new motherboard and CPU. Because I really can't upgrade this computer too much more. One tank goes down there. That's a shame. Double Panther push coming in. That's going to really stop a lot of this attack happening. Second 76 is just seemingly unaware though, not even looking at those Panthers. Let me just scoot down towards his level here. Shot comes in. Precision strike comes in as well. That hits the already dead 76 there, which is a real shame. Does clear up the carcass though, but yeah, double Panther push. This 76 needs to back out of here because he's getting surrounded by infantry. He's going to get pushed by those Panthers pretty quick. Great play from the Axis though to retake control of Pizza Slice. This is going to really allow them to redirect their forces to the south. to push this team out of the cap sector. So far, you know, as I said, game of speed, they've not been able to get their pressure into Hospice quick enough, strong enough from enough directions, which has really, you know, stopped this cap from coming in at Hospice. Do have a bit of a tank fight going on. I just heard a couple of ricochets as this 76 now hops out to get the reps up. He's in a bit of a dodgy spot though. Infantry is close. The Panthers could push here any moment. 76 doing an interesting job though, you know, just trying to clear up, make sure there's no infantry nearby. Just going to smash inside the hedgerows there. Let's get a little pop-up high. Let's see where those Panthers are. Looks like he actually killed one of those Panthers. Very nice indeed. And we're just left with Ben Past, who we know is a passive player from his Luke's play. No, that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all. But we just know that that Broken Arrow crew are passive. And actually, the Broken Arrow team, you know, having played them last weekend, I can say fairly comfortably. They're a fairly passive team anyway. You know, they didn't particularly push much. That's on show here. They could have got a little bit more aggressive with onto the 76 while it is in rep station mode, you know. But maybe they just didn't feel comfortable with it enough to do that. Lavi there, he spawned forward. What do you think? Maybe Lavi was trying to get a little bit of intel onto this 76 for his friend. So, you know, trying to get that mark onto the tank. I think he's getting shots on that Panther though. He's just got the angle through the hedgerow. He has. What a fantastic shot there. Fair play. You know what? Criticise these tankers all this game. Actually, I haven't criticised these guys at all. These guys were the ones that were doing work. So 2 Panthers down for Instand there, Jevel, and Bayo Ace. Christ, what a difficult name to say. So really nice tank play there from them. That's going to bump their scores up massively. That's really, really nice from them. Do you have cap pressure coming in at Artillery Battery, forcing a bit more of a retreat here from the Allies? They have got it just about under control for now, but they are letting people into this front door section here, which is always dangerous. Plenty of people talking about what recon should do. If you're not using rocket snipers, you're not using tank snipers, they should be on the enemy artillery, because as soon as the enemy artillery comes up, you can't push anymore. That's every push you can ever make shut totally down. But they've shut this artillery battery down just a little bit. There's a decent spawn wave in. That's got to be an airhead in here. Let me just zoom in. I know I'm moving a little bit quick around the place, and you know, not everyone always likes it. So it's just two outposts actually, not an airhead. So they've got 2 outposts in there. That is going to be vulnerable to a grenade or two if they can just get close enough. But for now, they are spawning in. They are pushing quite okay. They've got total control over strong point. They may get squeezed out here from artillery battery, but we do have the cap brace on. Hospice currently, I think, winning. It's pretty close though. But again, they've got lovely control over Hospice now. Again, you know, if they can just squeeze in from this northern side, and we see this now actually coming in from one SL there, Cobra. So we do have a true cap brace going on, and it is pretty close, but the Allies are certainly winning over at Hospice here. We're going to need to see these players at Artillery Battery just drop out of it and go for the retreat. They've got the half track forward. That's what they did. That's how they got this attack started here. The half track here starting this move, but the problem with the half track, the pace of it. 60-second spawn wave too slow. Crony, oh, was I mean again? I was already mean again, wasn't I? Sorry, buddy. Who was I mean about? Tell me again. Who was I mean to? But yeah, Fender, I think you're right. The Allies infantry is doing fantastic. They are pressuring so well through this game, but their armor's just been real lackluster throughout this game. They've had one real good tank crew so far. If they'd have had a second, they'd have had Hospice sewn up a long time ago. But I tell you what, with 25 minutes to go, they have capped the point here. They've managed to capture Hospice very, very nicely indeed. Very clean capture at the end there, coming out of nowhere from this southern side. They've got great strong point control with just a few players in there. They've got that stone up. They've got southern control as well. Now they really just need to get a couple of players in from Baker, just to... Oh, that's not an arrow, is it? Just a pressure from Pizza Slice towards this western side. We already see here Dog Squad set up very nicely. They just need a pressure up towards this northwestern side, but artillery might do that for them. And then... don't worry about this cap too much, because you can see nothing's pinging hot. You have control over it. It's okay. And then they've already got control of the south, which they can immediately start putting pressure into western. They just need to worry about sort of this attack, really, coming out from F4. Oh, Fender, sorry, buddy. Yeah, thank you for tuning in while you're at work. I do appreciate it. There you go. I'm sorry. I should have said you as well. You even have a regular subscription for the channel as well. So I'm sorry. I should be better. I should be a better host. But oh well. What are you going to do about it? I'm not. So get over it. Not seeing any garrisons down here. Oh, there it is. It's just in the open field. They've gone slightly further back here. Potentially they were limited from another garrison being placed. They had to pull it back slightly. Usually see it tucked off into the corner a bit more. But yeah, they do need to get some infantry into that zone. 76 pushed forward here. They've got his stand pushing through. They are going to be pretty exposed here. Now, he's lucky none of these guys are satchels. Oh, Christ, he's lucky. Because he is so exposed. This is crazy. This is I don't know what he's doing, but he's totally stuck here. He just needs to dip out of that zone, if I'm honest with you. 2 satchel boys coming up as well. Let's check it out. We've got the do we have the MP40 on the engineer? Let's check this one out. Whoop, pop down. Yes, we do. So that's a satchel boy in Chartres. And then Jim Edward as well. We know he's been rocking the STG today. So he's going to have the satchel as well as the assault player. Yeah, he can make himself a bit of a nuisance, but... oh, boys. Great shell to clear out the engineer there. He's backed himself up as well. He's not going to die today. Not yet. Jim Edward, pop your smokes out. Make him waste that shot. Oh, Jim Edward even goes down. Jesus Christ, this tank got lucky here. That tank should not be alive. He's even going to have infantry coming behind him, I think. With that outpost just behind him. But really, really nice play. Good defensive stance here from the Allies. They just need to get up and control this this northern wheat field, and they'll be in really, really good shape. Let's see down here though, because actually we have do have one player. Looks like he's taking down the garrison in this area. Maverick's done well to get himself all the way around. If he can go up and clear out these outposts now, which are in the usual spots, then they'll be in really good shape. 76 finally managed to get himself extricated from that zone, and as we poke out here, we see the Panther in the bottom right hand corner of the screen starting to make his way forward as well. Not going to get an angle, I don't think, on the 76 thanks to the good move from their driver. Really, really nice play to use that hedgerow as opposed to just backing straight up. He's backed up sort of on a bit of a diagonal just to give himself maximum cover away from it. But Hospice now, they've been squeezed. I told you they need to defend this the southeastern push there. Told you they need to get infantry up towards Pizza Slice, because the cap is coming in for Hospice, and what a waste this would be if they spend, you know, a full hour trying to cap this point, then and then they throw it away immediately. That would be such a crying shame for them. They have infantry within the zone. We know their infantry's been playing well, but with the Panther coming through here, what is this bombing run below me? What the fuck is this? What is this? It's like a 90% open field. I might have killed a couple of people, but certainly no garrison down there. That's shocking bombing run. What a waste. What a waste. Whose was it? Well, it must have been a German one, because I don't see the outline. That's real poor. It's such a poor bombing run. Bombing runs, as I always say, totally pointless. So, defense is on, but quite frankly, only just. They've parked the tank within pretty close to the strong point now. They can clear up some infantry. Oh, but actually, the Panther's diving. The Panther is going to absolutely dive at the 76. Oh, and he's just shot as well. He's trying to face it, but he's not going to be reloaded in time for this Panther. Panther's going to get the first shot out. There you go. First shot goes into 76. 76 has got to go down here. Nothing the 76 can do. There's no cover to retreat into. And that 76 does go down. Panther saving the day there again. That's such a shame for this allied armour. They were doing okay for just a hot minute, and then they're back to the back to status quo, unfortunately. Infantry started to clear out through the south. Now they just need to get themselves north, go pressure this Panther and the infantry up here. Did clear out that garrison, but they've got a new one. Oof! What was that? Big old spawn wave came in, and then is that little Stewie boy over here? Let's take a look. This is Lord Jax from HDD. Yeah, a little Stuart there, making himself a bit of a nuisance. Takes out the garrison, and it definitely was a garrison because we saw that spawned on. And we see some supplies dropping. He should be able to take care of those supplies, so there's going to be no garrison there either. That's going to stem the tide of a lot of this infantry here now. He's not going to get an angle on this Panther, thanks to the hedgerows being in the way. So they are doing well there. Oh god, BOAce. Game's not done. Why are you in the chat? What is this? I'm going to type. It's like the weirdest spoiler, because it's not a spoiler, because the game isn't done unless... Am I on a delay? I don't understand. Not sure. Don't know what you're doing. I'm going to take a quick look at the stats, say, oh, actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to go check out Western Approach. A little bit of cap pressure coming in here. Doesn't look like it's anything too serious. It's already been cut off. With just a couple of spawn waves in. Western Approach, lovely point to attack in my opinion. I always have a great time attacking it. Cobra here, lovely move, gets himself behind. Get yourself the garrison set up. The back here as well. Usually, is that a wheat field? I think that might be the wheat field back there I've just pinged. It's near enough. You can go get yourself set up. I think he's going to go for... Oh no, he's crashed it. Is Cobra going to get free? Oh, on the money. Is Cobra going to get free here? No. Oh, no. Oh, that's such a shame. What a waste. I hope he doesn't have 150 supplies left. He's going to get the his outpost up, which is okay. Going to be able to pressure from the second side, which is nice. But, you know, it's nice that he's got that one flanking garrison up and Hospice it pretty much sewn up. As well. We're getting tank marks down onto the Panther. Panther's hopping out to wrap. The tank commander goes down. Infantry making himself a bit of a nuisance. Still got 2 in the tank though. AT goes down. Oh, a rifleman just going to shoot the tank and be an absolute pain though. Just turning that gun around. We'll see though, because Panther is in a bit of a dodgy spot there really. Not looking too good, and the infantry here seems to be pretty sewn up as well, thanks to the fact that the Stuart took down the garrison and Maverick took down the first one as well. Luke's goes down just below us to AT. Well played from G-Taurus there. Oh, now what he wants to do is just take a look to the south, buddy. I don't think you go until you're going to continue your move, but you could cut this attack right off. Got 3 easy kills. Right in front of you. Such a shame. BOS, I appreciate you stopping by to support. I do appreciate it. Even if you are maybe a stream sniper. Get the X-Files theme tune out. I'm not going to sing it. Not going to sing it. Love the sniper in the middle of the field. I'm a big fan of this. Just going to make his way across. Cleric here. He's peeking, he's running, but going across an open field's a brave move. But he's going to make it to the other side pretty safely, and he does so indeed. And this is why I love Hospice into Western Approach. You can have very few people in these gardens, and you can be a massive pain. Because again, you're difficult to rat out. You only need like 1 person to hold down each corridor, right? And the opposition are going to struggle to break through. So. You know, look how many players have dropped back here, all just to defend Western from, you know, just a couple of squads. Not even, like, there's like 4 players down there at the moment. Let's check out this tank mark. Looks like the Panther did go down, likely to a satchel. There's a couple of engineers and an AT in the area. Looking a little bit suspect. So I suspect they've probably done the work there, as opposed to an allies tank. Highly unlikely. 15 minutes to go. Let's take another look at these stats for just one moment, and I will. Oh, I didn't mean to pin. Didn't mean to pin it. I'm gonna leave it pinned anyway. Right, there we go. Let's take a look at these stats. I didn't scroll all the way up, so you've not been looking at the top kill. I'm going to apologise for that. Chegs is top with 72. I will never get the top kill thing right, will I? On at 1 kill per minute. Nice game from Chegs. Still top of the deaths, though, with 59. 60 deaths. 0.83 deaths per minute. Fair play, Chegs. I really love the way that you've managed to do that. You know, you've kept pressure in. You've managed to keep pressure in. Oh no, I haven't even seen you much this game, so you just somehow just in the mix of things. We've got Ruthless Joy there on 67 kills. Chewbacca on 62. Jim Edwards on 62 as well. Jevel's popped up now to 60. And then we've got some Fins Let Loose players, Sipuli Mester, Sectori, and Alapex coming into the 57 range alongside Piv No Pivo. And then, oh, Christ's sake, your name again. I'm sorry, buddy. BFT, Prodravskaska. Christ. I'm English, man. I don't speak other languages very well. It's difficult, okay? It's really difficult to say other words. 76 got aggressive here, though. He's put himself a little bit exposed. But he's got infantry to his east, so he should get a bit of a warning if there's a panther coming up. So he's now just going to start farming artillery as well. I know, I think he's going to catch... Oh, no, he's not going to catch a truck. Squad leader gets rid of that assault player diving forward. I don't really know what his plan was, to be honest with you. You're just not going to do it. Oh, I didn't switch back. Whoops. There you go. I'm back into the game now. Oh, I see what the problem is. Okay. There you go. Problem solved. I had hotkeys on. Yeah, I was changing my scene for a second. Oops. There you go. All solved now. But yeah, there was an assault player just diving forward in a truck. I didn't get it personally. Not going to do too much. Good artillery dropping in. I mean, sure, he's marked exactly on top of a house, so again, not going to get too many kills there. Mostly just going to hit the house, but yeah, at least he's trying to stop the waves coming forward. And actually, the Axis here really have put themselves into a good spot in the south here, exactly as the Allies did to Cap Hospice. They've got themselves into the southern zone. And even they've got players pushing back west, and I love this. They're going to try and just tidy this infantry up before pushing north, and it's great to see that they are thinking about that defensive presence they need, and they can just tidy this infantry up and sew up western approach before going back towards Hospice, because they are going to need to commit a Hospice within the next 10 minutes. I think they are in a bit of a situation with it. I think we see a half track in the north here, though. He's already been marked, so he's not going to live for too long, I wouldn't have thought. And if I take a look at the map, they do have this garrison. I love this garrison in E3, because the moment this ping's hot, I just want to see infantry spawn off of it and just go clear out this whole sector here. And just anything around it, and that'll stop any sort of problems arising from E3. Because again, you know, it's rough if they start pressuring in from this wheat field. It's horrible to fight in wheat fields. It's not fun. And Hospice here, even better for the Allies to defend, because look, we've got open field, 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 and so what that really leaves you is some sort of small push from the south, and if you're really lucky, you might get something in from the west, but it's mostly open field around it, so you're just unlikely to generate from there. So at this stage here, and we can see, I'm going to guess now, if I open up my map here, the half-track now is up here. It's got a decent spawn wave come in. They're going to spot this pretty quick, though. Peak's going to die pretty immediately, I would have thought. Oh, actually, there's some infantry dying. Maybe the tanks turn around. Let's take a look. They're using... Who's it on the gun? Yeah. Andre from 82 AD. What a hero. Is just sat on the MG42 on top of this half-track. I love to see it. He's not going to do much from here, I'm going to be honest. But they already know it's there, right? You know, there's no way that he can draw more attention because... they're pinging a garrison, you know, they're locking a garrison out, so it's pretty clear they've got infantry up here. It's going to be easy to shut down though. If G-Taurus just gets one rocket into that half-track, or 2 rockets into that half-track, then it's going to be pretty much sewn up this game, because that's the main threat they have right now. As I was saying, you know, they've got these guys down here totally bottled up in F4, and that's nice and easy. You just now need to defend this southern side, and you'll be good to go. Is that a fucking strafing run? What is strafing run doing? I don't know. I don't know about the strafing run. It's not gonna... Let's watch it anyway. I mean, it hits the half track, it's great, but it doesn't actually do any damage to it. We do see an artillery mark in this zone as well, though that seems to have shuffled off now. 76 takes down the half track. That's that sorted. No SLs anywhere to be seen. You've really solved that issue there. It's going to be... That was the last roll of the dice. Unless they can generate this southern pressure, I just don't see how they're gonna solve this now. They could catch the Allies unawares. They do have, you know, we've got this southern attack coming in here from this right-hand side of the screen. The Allies have shuffled a lot of players out here, and the tanks out here. They've got a couple of squads out here as well. So this could allow a good assault coming in from the south. We will see. And this is happening now. It is coming in. They do still have presence down here. This eastern side of the road, though, having to bottle up the farm compound here, really, they can't let this go. They can't let those players actually assault into hospice. But you can do that relatively easily, thanks to the open fields. If they can now just sew up this western side of the road, I don't see too much ability for them to attack. I haven't seen a Panther for a little while now. Do have a tank mark over there, and we do have a tank in the north. I think that's a I think this is a Puma just in the center of our screen here, to the northwest there. Do have a tank mark come out. I want to go check this out, see if there is anything down this way. Got a tank mark, but no tank. Maybe it was for the Puma dived in that zone, I don't know. Did have a little bit of cap pressure at western approach there. I think it might have mostly been sector control. I don't think there's too much going on in the strong point. There is a little bit. Well, luckily for them, Nexus is there to tidy up, and he takes down 2 within the point. We'll see how he does against Dipsy, though, which is a bit of a key fight. He does need to win. He doesn't get it, and that's going to allow some pressure in. Let's take a look at the map, see what sort of presence they have. Oh, Queen Squad so far away. This is such a shame. This is a great location. I'd like to see a garrison come up down here. Hell, you could even just push it up to here if you really want to. But if they, if this Queen outpost, was just up here around this wheat field, they'd be in such good shape to attack western approach with a lot of forces, really, really quickly. But due to the way hospice is laid out, as I said, the fact that you only really need to defend this sort of shape here, the northern shape being particularly slim on numbers, needing to defend, the south being where you need most of your bodies, and you need like 1 MG looking at these guys in F4. They can attack with a good amount of numbers towards western approach. And with this Wallerville garrison here, it is looking pretty good, the fact that's unlocked. They do have spawns within the point. I have just seen a couple of places spawn in. Let's check that out, see if it's a garrison, see if it's an outpost. Looks like potentially that's just an outpost down here, unless I'm being blind. I don't know. I can't even see the outpost. Oh, there it is, just in the center of the screen. So it's just an outpost spawn there. We do have a couple of players back. Not too much though. There's certainly more allies within this zone. Allies done very, very well here to come back and potentially even grab this 4-2, but there's only one... Oh, there's a second squad leader getting into the point as well, Rambo GT, and got a third squad leader here as well in Gloomy, and then there was another one in the point, but he seems to have died here. MG takes down the diving truck at this stage as well. Oh, please tell me this isn't an outpost in the middle of the field. What is this? It was! Jacko put his outpost up in the middle of the field. Christ, buddy, that is a bold move. I don't know about that one. Wow. Tell me what you feel about that outpost mark, and really give it to me as well, because that is shocking. I think this cap's surely going to go the way of the Allies at this stage. surely. A couple of outposts up in the point, and they'll be able to spawn a lot of players in. Now, we see a lot of spawns back at Vorleville. They're going back for that meat grind reset to try and push. Let's take the map on this cap, though. This garrison's still alive here, being defended by the Stuart, which is very, very nice indeed. They're just about defending it. Just a couple of guys here defending this garrison. Could see a decent spawn wave come in here from them to really pressure Vorleville. That'd be lovely to see. And you know, again, even better here with Western approach. An absolute nightmare to try and take with just a short 4.5 minutes. Got a little spawn wave coming on that garrison. Just seen that happen over there. Who did we get up here? Our level 70-something Sizdupivpit crest. Names, guys, please. I know it's sensitive, but respect the English streamers who only have one language, please. It's just not fair. They're getting some real good pressure on Vorleville, and Vorleville is so much fun to try and cap because you can get so close to it and be in the blue zone. You can really pressure really, really well at Vorleville and bottle them in quite nicely. Oh, look at the spawn wave. It's in an open field. Oh, this is a field day, surely, for the sniper. No, the sniper's run away. Oh, Clerica, why have you ran? You've got a field day here on that outpost. Surely. Did you not see it? I don't know if he did. He's just going to let them get away, is he? Oh, that's such a shame. That is such a shame. But Podravska has called the GG. He is correct with just 3 minutes to go, and Western approach capped. It's under the 4 minutes required to cap both points, so really, really well played from the Allies here. Their infantry, despite not having the kills, and despite not having too much tank support, they really, really did well to be an absolute nuisance for the Axis, and did so well, despite getting out-traded for kills in pretty much all regards. They got themselves into the right zones at the right times and capped those 2 points with relative ease, you might say. They attacked Hospice for a long time, and so maybe that one wasn't too easy. They were pressuring it for such a long time, so close to capping it so many times as well. They got their rewards in the end for that persistence paying off. So great work from them. We now see infantry getting super close here to Vorleville. We've got an artillery mark by that house. Artillery could fall just to the left of this mark and absolutely pick kills up here. I don't know if he's still firing. He is. Oh, doesn't pick up too many. It's such a shame because he's so close to that garrison mark. Mark goes out. Artillery mark just moves as well. Such a shame. He could pick up so many kills here. But Vorleville's such a nightmare because it's just so ridiculously close to the blue zone. Stuart's starting to dive in as well. He's going to go for the rear side of Vorleville, I would suspect, with just 1 minute 35 seconds left. Nothing they can do to cap this point now. It's just all for the glory at the end of this game. I'm going to take a look at the stats now, though, in-game, which is 1 minute 30 seconds left. So let's take a look, see who our MVPs are for the Allies. As we come towards the end of this game, 577 kills, 577 combat score for Clerica is very nice indeed. Bivno Pivo, 533 as AT, very nice indeed. 566 there for Heisenberg is a good score. Tank crew, Lord Jack's picking up 1.2k, not great for an hour-long game for a tank crew. It could be worse though. Certainly MVPs for the Allies has got to be this Noodle tank crew with Jevel and Bayoes there, picking up 5k combat score. Really, really nice from them. Really, really well done. BFT Woko on the artillery, pretty poor. 146 combat is not ideal. I don't see this other tank crew from BFT. I wanted to see what they ended with, but I don't see them. It looks like they're mostly disbanded. Mojo here, not even 100 combat score. That is pretty poor, to be honest with you. Not ideal. Sorry, Mojo. It just wasn't your game today, was it? which is such a shame. Game's come to an end here. We can then take a quick look at the Axis stats in game to see how their tank crews did, etc., etc. As this game comes to an end, and then we'll take a look at the overall stats, and I'll leave you with that one. 2.5k from the able Finns That Loose squad. That's pretty good. They're potentially MVPs in general. Let's have a look. Who else we got? Chewbacca there, 710. I think he was on the artillery, wasn't he? Pretty nice score coming in for him. Tank crew, Alice, 1.8k, not ideal, doesn't hit that 3k mark. Tank crew, they've lost some players. Like, I do wonder whether a couple of players might have rage quit towards the end there, which is a real shame, and don't ever do that. It is incredibly sad when you do, you know. Not that you'll miss too much because you did rage quit. Let's take a look at the stats. Jevil comes top, 81 kills, just pipping Ronald Cheggs, who finishes with 80 kills and 65 deaths. Unbelievable. I love him. I mean, that's unbelievable pressure he's put up. I'll take a little scroll down though, so you can see all of the other scores there. Chewbacca on the artillery picking up 77 as well, and the Finns That Loose guys with plenty of players in this top 10. But that puts us at the end of the stream, guys. Thank you very, very much for sticking around with me. Do appreciate it. Hope you all had a good stream. And see you next time. Hopefully at the weekend I'll have some HTA and ECL games to bring you. I think I might have one stream at 9 AM my time on Sunday, which is a little bit too early for my liking. But hey, do what you got to do. All right. Take care, everyone. Hope you'll have a good rest of your day. See you later.